Intro, take one. Okay.
We have a clapboard.
Huh?
We have a clapboard.
Oh yeah, we do. Where is it? Intro, take one.
Don't we look at the camera? Take 107. Hey guys, I'm Ash.
I'm Auel.
Today we're going to be talking about a very special edition of Monopoly that we picked up at Target. It is a Target exclusive, and it is Monopoly Socialism.
Yeah, so Monopoly, the original Monopoly game, which as you know is a very capitalist game. It's all about trying to bankrupt your enemies and take over the board, hence the name Monopoly. Own all
get the
of
most
properties.
money.
Yeah, own all the properties, own all the railroads, own all the utilities. This game is not like that at all, obviously, because it is socialist, and right here on the box it says winning is for capitalists. It also says a parody of the classic, so much like the recent Monopoly
for millennials?
Yeah, Monopoly for Millennials, which got actually a lot of people mad. It was kind of controversial. I feel like this is just as much of a troll as that is. It's probably meant to get under a lot of people's skin,
yeah.
Be provocative, be a point of conversation, and
I definitely think it's going to be meant to be satirical, much like Monopoly for Millennials was pissing off the millennials. They were like, what? This hurt my feelings.
I think the appeal of it is more about just being kind of funny and being
it's satire.
Being kind of like tongue-in-cheek as opposed to like being just a new version of Monopoly just for the sake of making new rules. But, you know, the most important thing, obviously, is whether or not this is a fun game. So we're going to be taking a look at this, seeing how the game works, how different it is from the original Monopoly, and see if it's worth buying.
Yeah, we're going to try it out for you.
The game includes a game board, 6 tokens, project cards, 40 contribution chips, 44 chance cards, a regular die, a special die, instructions, and of course, money. As you may have guessed, under the rules of Monopoly Socialism, money is treated a lot differently, but we'll get to that later. Now, if you're a Monopoly fan like me, then I know the first thing you'll want to see is the player tokens, and these don't disappoint. What we've got is a beautiful set of matte red tokens. They are comprised of an old television set, an old 80s cell phone, a pocket watch, a rotary phone, a phonograph, and a typewriter. The next thing a Monopoly fan would want to check out is the properties. Well, in this game there aren't any properties. I mean, do you really want to be a landlord? Of course not. We'll leave that to the bourgeoisie scum playing regular capitalist Monopoly. No. Instead of properties, we have community projects, which all have tongue-in-cheek names such as No-Tip Vegan Restaurant, Healthcare for All Hospital, and Together We Rise Bakery. And if you're wondering, the boardwalk in this game is Common Comforts Hotel. Yeah, between these, the chance cards, and the instructions, they've pretty much got every left-wing neo-socialist cliche covered. Speaking of the chance cards, these play a huge role in the game, since the special die that you roll along with the regular die on each of your turns has a side for drawing 1 and a side for drawing 2 chance cards. They come into play way more often than in the original game. So let's set up the game and see how everything works. So first we place the project cards along their corresponding space on the board. Now you see this big space in the center of the board? That space is for the community fund. Rather than belonging to an individual player, the community fund is to be used and maintained by all players. If there's no more money in the community fund, the game is over and nobody wins. The game starts with $1848 in the community fund to match the year that the Communist Manifesto was published. Nice. And when you're out of personal money, you've got to spend from the community fund. So rather than winning by bankrupting all of the other players, the only way to win Monopoly Socialism is by using up all of your contribution chips, which have roses on them, one of the oldest symbols of the socialist movement. Chips are spent by developing projects, both projects that you manage and the ones the other players manage. To manage a project, you must land on a project space and pay the amount on the space with your own money and/or the community fund. You could develop your own projects by paying the self-development fee listed on the project card at the beginning of your turn, or by landing on one of your projects and paying $10. If you land on another player's project, you have the option to develop it by paying the manager $10, allowing you to spend a chip. If a project is fully developed, then whenever somebody lands on that project space, the manager gets a payout from the bank. The payout is even higher if all of the projects in that set are fully developed. There are other unique features in this version of Monopoly, including the community shuttle, which can take you to any space between the shuttle and the next shuttle for the price of $50 from the community fund.
So, closing thoughts on Monopoly Socialism?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely thought it was an interesting gameplay. I think a question that I have is, as someone who's played regular Monopoly and Monopoly Socialism, do you think that this is a good example of socialism?
I think that what's really interesting about this game is that it does give you a sort of micro taste of, I guess, how a socialist society might operate. And I don't mean that to say that this is like a realistic representation of how that goes. I'm saying like you sort of get this sense of what it means to live in a society that's mainly like based on community and cooperation, because that's your mindset in the game, or at least, you know, it should be your mindset in the game,
yeah.
Because, you know, there's that element of if the community runs out of money, we all lose. So in the game, you're actually trying to help out, you know, your fellow players, trying to help them develop their projects so that they can get more money from the bank, and then that means more money for the community fund. And of course, you are trying to win ultimately, but it's not as cutthroat and brutal as Monopoly, the original Monopoly, where, you know, you're always trying to find ways to sabotage your fellow players.
Yeah, Monopoly's a game screwing people over.
Now, disclaimer, this isn't us endorsing
Socialism. We are not socialists.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah.
I guess the question is, like, I mean, it says adult right here on the box, right? I feel like one way that people are going to spin this is by saying, like, oh, this is teaching socialism to kids, and this is, you know, which, I mean, I don't think is such a bad thing to at least introduce these ideas to.
I don't think it's a bad thing to introduce ideas to kids, you know, I mean, I guess my concern would be, is it too heavy of a concept for a kid to grasp? But I'm an adult, so I don't know the answer to that.
Well, I mean, I think that exposing this game to a kid would be just as dangerous as exposing them to regular Monopoly. Because if they get way too into regular Monopoly and they start deriving lots of pleasure from bankrupting people and taking over neighborhoods, then maybe that might be a cause for concern. And on the other hand, if your kid is way too into
socialism,
I don't know, maybe that's some kind no pun intended, a red flag maybe. But, it's a very different game. It goes a lot quicker. There's a lot more cooperative elements to this game than possibly any other board game that I've played that's not team-based.
So would you recommend this game?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's a fun game. I mean, that's like the most important quality that a game should have, is whether or not it's fun. Mm-hmm. You know, novelty value aside, but it is a really fun game. It's enjoyable.
Yeah, we definitely had a good time playing it.
Yeah, and you know, it's fun both because of the themes, you know, and the satire, and it's really funny, and as you're playing along, you're drawing chance cards or whatever, and everything's got funny names and everything, but...
Yeah, you'll definitely get a chuckle out of the chance cards.
Yeah, as long as you have a good sense of humor, you know. But other than that, it's just the gameplay is fun. The rules and everything are interesting. It's very different from regular Monopoly, so, you know, it's a totally different experience, and that...
Which I also think makes it fun. It's not like you're playing regular... Like, you can own both games and have a good time.
Yes.
Because the gameplay is entirely different.
Mm-hmm. But this is a fun game that we recommend, and we hope that you know, your opinion of the game isn't based on whatever crazy media coverage is going to come from this. And you already know that, you know, Fox News and Fox Business is going to have a field day with this.
Oh yeah, they're going to have fun.
So Monopoly Socialism, we're going to leave a link in the bio if you'd like to buy yourself a copy of the game. With the way that Monopoly for millennials went, there might be a chance that this could sell out. So...
get on it quick.
yeah, might as well get yourself a copy now.
So thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, this is our first YouTube video. We love games. We love board games and video games and all sorts of things. So we'd like to, I guess, make more of this kind of content for you guys if you enjoy it.
Let us know.
Yes, please like and subscribe. I know that saying like and subscribe doesn't actually incentivize you to do so, but we'd like to make more videos for you guys.
It'll make us happy if you like and subscribe.
And it's free for you guys, so please consider. And yeah, we'd like to make more videos. If you guys have any recommendations, please let us know. Otherwise, we do accept compliments.
We do accept compliments, yes.
I just got a haircut, so. Anyways, thank you guys, and you know, happy socialism.
Or capitalism. It's your choice.
Yeah, we're not picking sides here.